think about there being three primary areas of technical importance when you're learning an instrument. You have chords, you have scales, and you have arpeggios. Of course, there is a lot more than just those considerations, but those are really kind of the tripod upon which your technical understanding and abilities on the guitar will stand. So today I want to focus on two of those areas, arpeggios and scales, and I'm putting these together into three exercises, but based on one concept. So I've got three different ways to practice this at different difficulty levels. The first one will show you the pattern in one position, then the second one is going to move it chromatically. The third one is going to be moving the pattern through a chord family. So this third one is going to be a little more challenging. So the idea is this. I'm going to play a major 7 arpeggio. And this is a way that one of the very comfortable shapes that I use. I think about it as related to the type 1 bar chord, or if you've followed any of my material about the big 3 triad shapes, this big 3 shape is what I'm thinking about as kind of like the shell of this arpeggio. And I've got the root note down here. So I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, 7. And I'm picking down on the 1, I'm hammering onto the 3, and I'm picking down on both the 5 and the 7. And here I'm going to hammer on into the 1, continue picking down on 3, 5, and then hammer on into the 7, and then I pick down on the 1. So I'm picking all down directions, and then I'm also using hammer-ons. So that's the beginning. The second half is going to be a descending scale, moving down the G major scale in this case, because we're playing a G major 7. So arpeggio. And then here, as I go the other way, I'm going to up pick everything. And I'm going to use legato on these scale runs. You don't have to. You could do alternate picking if you like, but I like to do legato like this. So I go. So once I hit that top note, I'm going to do an up pick on the 2nd string. In the 7th of the scale, I'm going to pull off into the 6th and then the 5th. And then on the next string, I'm going to up pluck the 4th of the scale, pull off into the 3rd of the scale. I'm going to up pick the 2nd of scale and pull off into the root note, the G again. And of course you can use this over a G major chord, G major 7 chord, wherever it's appropriate to play a major 7. And you can make your own lines out of it. So took the beginning and I changed the ending. And so you can come up with infinite ways to permutate this, change it, and make it your own. But just to get this pattern down, the first exercise is going to be playing this pattern 4 times. So I'll just demonstrate real quick with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second exercise is just going to take that pattern and move it up chromatically for a whole octave. So we're going to do it in every position all the way up. I like doing this because it gives me the feel for the different spacing between notes, because obviously as you go up the neck, the spacing between each note gets smaller. I'm going to demonstrate that one time, just real slow. So I start on my G. Then I'm going to go straight to the A flat. Really trying to maintain this finger position, because that's the key to making sure I play all the right notes. If I just maintain my spacing, of course getting a little narrower in my hand position as I go up, because the frets get smaller. I'm just going to keep going. That D. E. F. F sharp. And G. And I'm going to end it at the top there. So that's the second exercise. You can, of course, go back down if you'd like, if you like this exercise. I'm going to do it with the metronome once. See if I can do it at this tempo. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 3 is going to be a little bit different. So you're going to be changing the arpeggio and scale shapes to fit each chord in the chord family. So I'm going to move up from G. I've got my 1, just as we practiced it. But now I'm going to move to A, and if you know the sequence of chords in a major key, the second is always minor. And if you make it a 7th chord, it's going to be a minor 7. And the further consideration is when you're playing that scale coming down, it's going to be a Dorian scale, which is a type of minor scale that has 1 degree, scale degree different than the natural minor. Maybe you know what it is. It has a natural 6th. Another way of looking at this is just thinking of it as a G scale, because it still is a G scale even when you're playing it as an A Dorian. It's still coming down the G scale. But I find it helpful to think of the modes as I come down these scale patterns, because each one is going to be slightly different. There's 3 different minor types, 3 different major types, and then the Locrian, or the 7th one, is kind of a, I guess it's another minor type, but it also has a flat 5, so it's kind of more of a diminished sound. But I'm going to walk through each of these positions fairly quickly. I'm not going to really just explain modes in depth or anything. There are other places you can learn about that if that's new to you. But if you're going to hang in for this, I'm thinking that maybe that isn't new to you. So here we go. It's going to be like this. We're going to start here. And then go to A. And I'm adjusting my arpeggio pattern for the flat 3 and the flat 7. So I'm going, keeping my picking and my hammer-ons and pull-offs the exact same. And as I come down, that's that natural 6 in the minor scale. So that's the Dorian minor. Next, I'm going to have the same arpeggio shape. This is going to be a B minor 7. But now on the way back down, it's going to be a Phrygian scale, which is a natural minor scale with a lowered 2nd. My 4th is going to be a major 7 chord, major 7 arpeggio. And then when I come down, this is a Lydian scale. So that note in the Lydian scale is one that's different than a regular major scale. It's the sharp 4. Next, I have a dominant 7 arpeggio, which we haven't done yet. This is the only dominant 7 arpeggio in the scale. So I go up 1, 3, 5, and instead of the natural 7 that I would do for the major 7, I'm going to go to the flat 7 in both octaves. And then this scale is just like a major scale, except the 7th, instead of being just like the chord, instead of being a natural major 7, it's a flat 7. So there's my 5, 6. Now we've got a minor 7 arpeggio again. And now finally we have the natural minor. And this next one is probably going to be the trickiest. It is the half diminished 7th chord, or the minor 7 flat 5. A couple different ways to do the fingering. I can go first finger, fourth finger, second finger, first finger, and here I can either do my third finger or my pinky. But that's the arpeggio, and then coming down the Locrian scale, which has basically everything lowered. Flat 2, flat 3, 4 is regular. Flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. And then here we're just going to end same way we ended the last exercise. So I'll play the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the 3 exercises. Practice those, and I think that you'll find this pattern coming out in your playing. You can use these arpeggios, like I said, to launch into licks, or to lead you into melody notes or melodic ideas, or you can use them to play arpeggiated passages. Or whatever you want, but I think that practicing these is going to give you, kind of kick your butt on your left hand a little bit, and help you kind of work out some picking directions with a sort of sweep type pattern using a lot of legato as well. So hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.